about the outlook on Cade compared to other first-round picks around him, which, you know, it's kind of turning funny. You know, people was kind of saying Scotty Barnes is better than him, Evan Mobley, and simply for Cade, it was just health. I mean, oh yeah, LaMelo's better, and I've been guilty of saying some of this stuff, but the game has always been there. I mean, it's always been there. But let's talk about your Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video. We're talking about the last 4 or 5 first round picks around him. Victor Wembanyama, Jesus Christ, Anthony Edwards has been around. Zion Williamson is around him. Man, who else we have? I feel like it's somebody else right after him. Wemby, Cade. I know Edwards in there. Zion a little bit before the decade. But whoever else in there, really, when you start using that measuring stick for him, he's starting to kind of take the lead. Paulo Brancho was in there. I love Paulo, one of my favorite hoopers in the league. You know, really, you know, Paulo kind of faced the same. Paulo and Wembanyama is facing the same thing that Cade Cunningham faced. And you may ask, what is that? They're pretty much facing the injury bug. You know, Paulo and Orlando, they was on the trajectory that the Pistons was on this year until, you know, Paulo got hurt, Franz got hurt, and I believe Jalen Suggs got hurt. So injuries is also really killing a lot of guys in this league. You know what I'm saying? So, but right now, you know, you got to understand, when you developing, it's not a race. It's not a race. I mean, you can project, and say, well, Zion gonna be the face of the league. I mean, I think nobody denies the talent, but when he gets, you know, he just can't stay healthy. He just don't care about basketball, and he's not gonna care until it's too late. And then he still don't have a jump shot. So a lot of these guys, you know, are not interested in being basketball players. They're interested in being entertainers. When you see Cade come back, it's always improvement, whether it's protecting the ball, shooting the ball, playing off the ball, defensively. He's mastering his craft. And, you know, the only other guy you can really say that right now, because it's premature for some of these other guys, that's improving at a rapid rate, is Anthony Edwards. Whether it's defensively, whether it's shooting. I mean, he got a lot of shit going on outside of basketball, but he continued to perfect his craft. And really, since 2019, you know, people are projecting that Wemby is going to be this great player. But one thing we've seen between Edwards, you know, between Edwards and Cade Cunningham, and we are starting to see that with Paulo Brancho. They're starting to affect in the win column. They're coming up in the win column. They're starting to be pillars of their franchise. Then they're turning to cornerstones of their franchise. And then the next step is they championship caliber players. That's the only next question for the pretty much Paulo getting there, but are they championship level players? That's what you got to ask yourself. Are they, you know, that's the next question to ask for all of them. One thing that Edwards got on them too is he durability. So really, Cade and Edwards and Paulo is really taking off to a lead now. Wemby he got a stride on him. You know, Wemby got a stride on him for sure. Wemby gonna stride. You know, but we got to see, because a lot of those guys get injured. You start having blood clots, boy oh boy. Flying has become dangerous. Your diet become dangerous. When you start talking about upper body blood clot, boy, that's close to the heart. That is close to the heart. So, you know, so it's something to kind of be concerned about. But right now, it's really a two-man race between Edwards and Cade. And it can change. Definitely can change. You know, Cade is, the numbers have always been there. I always said it. You listen to me when I talk the wins. And the wins have counterparted him there. And obviously, it wasn't all him, but it was a lot of him staying healthy. That's him. Then they surrounded him with some better players, and I just felt that Troy put a lot of scores around him. Burke and Bojanovic, yeah, they can shoot, but they were professional scorers first before shooters. And Trajan Langdon made a quite obvious observation, and he made the switch. He said, "Okay, let me get a 3-and-D Malik Beasley in here. Let me get 3-and-D Tim Hardaway in here. Let me get 3-and-D Tobias Harris in there." And that was simple as that. Let me move Isaiah back to the backup 5, and this all fell into place. Only thing they was waiting on, I mean, Ivy was improving at a rapid pace. You know, only thing they was waiting on was Jalen Duren, and had Duren started how he is right now, and Ivy stay healthy, they're probably battling for, you know, 3rd seed in the East easily. But there's no need to rush it. In my humble opinion, it's really no need to rush it. We American, we ain't rushing. So hopefully, you know, but at the same time, when you get opportunities to get players that you normally couldn't get, I mean, you kind of got to press play on that. But, man, the number 1 overall pick, man, you know, that 2019 draft, let me say that's going to be an interesting documentary. You know, RJ Barrett really, you know, he was talking about he was the best. I never seen it. John Morant just do stupid shit. Zion doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a very interesting documentary on that 2019 draft. I'll tell you that right now. Because it wasn't like, usually you see guys like, you know, Michael Olowokandi, like, okay, he lacked the, you know, he was a late bloomer. He lacked the skills, or maybe they punched the wrong clock on Kwame. Maybe Kwame should have went to college. Kwame Brown and developed, or maybe Michael and them fucked him up. You know, but you looking at Zion and Ja, when they play, they're phenomenal. This lets you know it's more than basketball. It's character, it's integrity, it's having empathy. A lot of these dudes, a lot of athletes, these athletes today, you want to know why they don't win? They want to be rappers. They want to be entertainers. More than they want to be basketball players. More than they want to win. But Cade, man, like I said before, you know, the last, you know, few drafts, going back to 2019, Cade is putting himself in an elite class with Anthony Edwards, and they can pump up Wemby all the fuck they want to. You know, we got to see that translate into wins. Anthony Edwards, he winning without Carl. I like Cat. Cade, he winning. He winning probably without his second best player in Jaden Ivey. You know, so it lets you know a lot. So these dudes are pillars. They turn into them. I mean, Anthony Edwards, I think, is the cornerstone once you trade Cat. And I think Cade is, you know, established itself as the cornerstone. So, I mean, they really taking off. And the thing about Cade and Edwards and even Wemby, they two-way players. I love it. I love it. They two-way players. She's a two-way freak. Oh, remember that song by 3 6 1? They two-way players, man. You know, they two-way players. They two-way players, and that's one thing that I can appreciate is when you got two-way players. You know, people that take pride on both sides of the ball. So I just wanted to talk about that. I think it's interesting looking at some of them number one picks. So who went number one last year? I think a dude from, not the dude from I think Atlanta had, I forgot who went number one last year, but I don't even think it matters. I seen Sarr play for the Wizards. He's straight. But we'll see, man. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live and drop video. Hit the link tree. Find me everywhere. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Peace.